So first of all, this film, you're very good in it, and you're very good at being bad. Was that a lot of fun?
It was a lot of fun, yeah. I mean, he's a bit of bad, he's a bit of good, he's a bit of a villain, he's a bit of an anti-hero, a bit of a, he's got a lot of things going on. So it was fun. It's a huge spectrum of things that I get to play with him in this character. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, because he's like a romantic hero, he's an action hero, he's also kind of a baddie. How did you get into characters this? Because it's quite complex.
Well, it's all in order. So you just got to start with the family man and the hero and the leader of his people, who also did have a very dark past. So you have to remember that as well. And then you slowly allow this man to unfold his story. And but it's the human story. So, I'm a human, so it was easy. I could just relate to this man. I saw his journey. I could see his pain. And I could also understand the dilemma of wanting to protect your loved ones and also your people and not having any options apart from what might be up this mountain in this dark cave. It's like, what would you do? So it was so much fun, incredibly exhausting and physically draining, because you're trying to portray a man who's basically addicted. He has an addiction. Once he's drunk that blood of that master vampire, he has this fever that takes over him, and he's having to contain that while trying to wrangle these powers to his advantage.
Good use of wrangle. I like that.
Wrangle.
You also made that sound like you'd had to go up a mountain at some point yourself.
Oh, believe me, they made me climb a vertical wall of rock at one point on cables with a giant wind machine and a massive cape. So don't believe me, I felt like I'd climbed a couple of mountains by the time I'd finished that shot.
Like a terrible Mariah Carey video.
The worst.
Winged machines. Obviously, this is a classic tale, revamped. What did you want to bring to it in particular when you first got hold of it?
Well, I was excited about telling the untold story of the origins of the most famous vampire. That was it, basically. It's about the man. It's about this historical figure that people probably don't know that much about. And we are telling a story, a fresh story, treading new ground about what people might not know, which is always good. Showing something to somebody who didn't expect it.
I found watching it quite emotional. It was sort of a bit like an extended Fathers for Justice campaign with also like this terrible romantic issue.
Yeah.
Was it quite emotional filming it?
Oh, it was traumatic. Yeah, there were moments of real tragedy and heartbreak, and there were days where I just couldn't talk to anybody. I'd finish the day and just go and sit in my trailer for an hour and just try and regroup. It's exhausting, and emotionally, it was for my character. It's such a huge journey for him, and there are he loses his wife, and he thought everything he was doing was for her. So it's a beautiful, tragic, heartbreaking story about sacrifice and love and revenge and all the sweeping emotions that draw you in from the second the film begins. It presents you with this love he has for this woman and his child and the respect he has for his people, and there's a lot going on.
I was trying not to cry because it was just me and Susanna Reid, who I don't know. I was like, don't cry, she's going to think you're weird.
Who's Susanna Reid?
Oh, she presents Good Morning Britain.
Oh, right, yes,
she's
that's
quite famous,
right. I was on TV the other day, wasn't I? Yeah, she didn't know who I was either, so ha!
Take that, Susanna Reid.
Take that, Susanna Reid.
I just thought I can't sit next to her and cry because I don't know her. It's too weird.
You mean she didn't cry?
No, she didn't. Well, I don't think she did.
Hard as nails, that girl.
Probably.
Hard as nails.
Speaking of which, what's it like working with Charles Dance? Because he's quite an enigma, isn't he?
Isn't he? Yeah. I mean, he's a statuesque man too. I think he's taller than me, and in that get-up was incredibly scary. The whole set felt like you were walking into a cave. It was really dark. It was brilliantly made, and he just delivered such a sinister, dark, threatening, desperate creature that wants to get out. It was brilliant. It was 4 days of real enjoyment, if not slightly scary moments.
Did you come out of it more or less scared of him?
Oh, I mean, as soon as we said cut, he's back to himself. He's Charlie, so that's not so bad.
And very quickly, I like the story of you climbing the gigantic mountain. Was another part of filming that you think was quite challenging or might surprise fans?
Well, the plummeting to earth, trying to catch my wife, which is a tragic moment. that was a very clever piece of rigging where I was, they molded the front of my body and they'd put it horizontally and I sat in it, and then there was this huge fan and the camera was in front. So I was actually horizontal, and then I was on this sort of weighted seesaw, so they could make me move around and tilt me. Yeah, so I wasn't flying downwards, but that's how they did it. It's very clever.
They didn't throw you off a mountain?
They didn't throw me off a mountain, no. I think Gary might have wanted to throw me off a couple of times, but we had to finish the movie.
Well, it's a fantastic film. Well
Thank
done.
you.
And
Thanks
lovely to
very
speak
much.
to you
Nice
again.
to see you too.
You too.
Take care.